idea for the movie came from news. Every day you read incidences like this in our country, unfortunately. And we have seen what happens to the victims of molestation afterwards. We have seen what happens before. I wanted to do a film, what happens before the headlines happen. Who are these people? What kind of mentality do they have? Why do they choose to do such violence? Uh, like not not an average normal human being, a man behaves like that. There must be some reason, psychological reason, why certain men behave like this. There is a sexual harassment aspect, but there is also this recent trend in probably last 10 years in our country where there is horrendous violence done to women. It's very, and it's getting more and more frequent now all over the country. So I wanted to focus on once a girl is kidnapped and she's taken to point B, what happens? That's where you get into the minds of these criminals and where they get their ideas from, what their idea of society is, why they feel women are just objects for their pleasure, you know. ये ऐसे कौन कौन लोग हैं जो अपनी माँ बहन का बहुत ऑनर करते हैं. They kill for honor of their sisters and their mothers, but strange women, uh, they think they are just there for their men's pleasure, you know. Uh, and it's a very disturbing thing because it's a complex problem. It's not easy to understand it or treat it, but I wanted to highlight it. I wanted to show before even a physical sexual harassment happens, how a woman is completely destructed, destroyed by just psychological abuse. So the film is a thriller. It's inspired from many infamous incidences in our country. And what I have tried to do is show the plight, anguish of the woman, once she is kidnapped or picked from the street. So that was our idea.
Karam, thank you so much for coming out here today. Taking forward from what Harsh sir already said, this is a very serious film. It's extremely disturbing, extremely raw, because in this film, through sir's story and through sir's script and through sir's direction, we have shown how a victim breaks so horribly psychologically that before the assault even happens, the victim gives up mentally, emotionally. Like, just imagine what somebody goes through to take them to a point where they completely break and they said, in the trailer, like she says, do whatever you want with me, do it in the car, do it right here, however you want to. Just imagine how much it takes for a person to go to that point and say that. I've had a very difficult experience shooting this film. We finished shooting for this film in 2018 and it's finally releasing now. We shot back to back. There were hardly 2 days of break amidst a 32 to 35 days of shooting schedule. And it was an extremely exhausting but a great learning experience for me. And thank you so much to her, sir, for this opportunity. Because I remember when I first met him, he did not ask me to appear for an audition, nothing. He just said, I want you on the film and I want you to play this character. And I would like to say thank you so much, sir, for having so much faith in me and for trusting me with this character. Because, wow, this has taken, I have gone to the extreme emotional depths, whatever I have, and I have tried to bring it out in this film. I remember during a couple of shots, in the film, in the scene, my character is supposed to stay strong and, show that she's going to get out of this and she's not going to give up hope. But the amount of things that these people tell me, the villains in the film, the dialogues that they say, after the director used to call cut, I used to start crying. Even the director used to start crying. There have been multiple instances where the whole crew got emotional. From this film, I'm just hoping that the film finds its audience because the number of times I see this on the news, every time I go to my Twitter, my feed, my news notifications, is just heartbreaking to see just how many women are going through this. Even men, unfortunately, men don't feel strong enough to come forward and speak their truth. But I hope this film gives them that strength, and I hope, like I said, the film finds its audience. Thank you so much.
And ma'am, I have a question. So this, you are so selective. What I've heard from other directors, what I've seen in your list. So, what's the main reason for choosing this subject?
Like I said, I think it's a very important topic and this needs to be shown. What Sir has shown in the film is the journey of what happens before the headlines come out, what happens before that. And that is the most painful part. That is very difficult to take. When I first heard the script, I thought it was going to be a great role for me to perform. It'll give me a lot of opportunities, but I had not imagined it was going to be this challenging. Like Sir told me that we are going to shoot the whole film in the car. So Carlo, I'm in the center and I'm surrounded by all these men and they are saying these very horrible, dirty things to me. Initially, second, third day, I thought, okay, fine, I can do this. I got this. I have that martial artist spirit. So I thought I can do this easy. But I was wrong. I was wrong in how the fourth day onwards things just started getting so difficult. I used to have no energy to go back and do anything. I just used to go back and sleep. We went to the extent of not even washing my hair for God knows how many days because continuity for 16 to 20 days I did not wash my hair because continuity in this film was extremely important. Kani, we have shot the whole film from scene 1 to scene 100 sequence wise. So if the continuity breaks anywhere, the audience will immediately know and it will disconnect. So we were very careful about that. And coming back to your question, it was about how it was shooting, right?
Yes. And reason for choosing this subject?
Yeah, because I feel like this story needs to be told. And in the trailer, also, towards the end, I don't want to give away any spoilers, so I'll simply talk about the trailer. In the trailer, towards the end, you see that she strikes the guy with the torch. You know, she sort of fights back. So I think what Sir and what I have tried to say through that scene is that in these situations, your presence of mind comes into play before anything else. Now, I am a trained martial artist, okay? I've trained since I was 3 years of age. But when something like this happens, when something so unfortunate happens, you don't know how to react. Your whole body goes numb, your mind stops working. That is when all the muscle memory comes into play, which is why all the self defense seminars that I conduct, whenever I take martial arts classes, also, I tell everybody to always keep training. You know, either you do your running routines, because in this film also that girl is running. If you are not used to running, you'll take a few steps, fifth step low, you will be on the ground. This I can guarantee, because our body cannot take the motion. Add to that all the panic from running away from a dangerous situation, you will not be able to run fast more than like 6 or 7 steps, you'll fall. That is why I keep saying to all the girls who are watching this, to everybody, please enroll into some kind of martial arts classes, self defense classes. It is the need of the hour right now. Yes, people might say, oh, she's manly, she lifts weight, or she trains so much, she's dangerous, she's manly. But who's going to come and protect you in these situations? Those people that say, oh, she's so manly, she walks like a man, she talks like a man, they will not even show up when you are in that situation. You know who'll show up for you? You. So no matter what they say, they call you a man, they call you a woman, whatever they call you do whatever it takes to work on your fitness journey and to be strong here and most importantly here. And then of course here. So that is what we are trying to say through the film.
Super, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, I've done films in Tamil. Ipo Hindi film, this I finished in 2018. And then I'm just looking for good scripts, whatever language lo chestuna. Telugu little merchipoya, touch pochi, and I will learn and come back and speak full Telugu. But I wanted to say that I'm open to doing films in any languages as long as the content is strong, the team is good. I'm open. I'm a little selective, that's true. But then I feel like when I finally go on set, it is all worth it because the scripts are like this. The scripts are so powerful.
సో ఇన్కర్ కూడా మళ్ళీ ఒక అవార్డుని ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయొచ్చా మీ నుంచి? ఎట్లా ఎట్లా ఉంది?
No, expect చేయలేదు because I don't know. I just want, like I said, Sir and I were discussing also. We just want this film to reach its audience, to find its audience, and to have that impact. Because this film, as disturbing, as raw, as difficult as it is to watch, it also leaves you with a hope towards the end, like you see in the trailer. So I think that's why it's important to watch. Like I said.
నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేయబోతున్నారు? వాట్ ఇస్ యువర్ నెక్స్ట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ఏమున్నాయి
Next,
ఫ్యూచర్?
ఇప్పుడు actually Telugu projects I'm going to start. I think I have 2-3 lined up. Then I have a Tamil film that's up for release called Kolai with Vijay Anthony sir, directed by Balaji Kumar sir. So that is coming up. And then of course 3rd March in Car.
హై సార్. అంటే రితిక గారిని తీసుకోవడానికి మెయిన్ రీజన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్? రితిక
National Award winner. Also, I deliberately did not want to make a filmy story. I want her character is any girl, every girl, you know. So she, throughout the film also, it's a normal everyday girl who is caught from bus stop in broad daylight. So when I was thinking of this film, you know how people used to, thankfully no more in our country, we used to blame girls. We used to say she was drunk, she was wearing revealing clothes, she was wearing short skirt, she was walking alone in a dark street. So I deliberately dressed her completely. I deliberately put her in daylight, broad daylight. Even then, because this is what happens, unfortunately, this is the reality of our country. And I want to address it in a very non-biased way. You know, it's not like men also are from this culture only. We are not come from Mars, right? So men like these men are also product of this culture and this society also. So why it happens? So the film is a thriller. Okay, in between, and it's completely almost 90% is inside the car. That's why the title, right? And during I use that time inside the car to showcase what the kidnapped girl goes through, and what those men, where are they getting these ideas that it is okay to kidnap the girl. So when I wrote this script, you know, I had a lot of names in my mind, and when her name came up, I was really excited. So I came to Bangalore. She was shooting in Bangalore, so I came to Bangalore to meet her, and she had already read the script, and she asked me all the right questions about the theme of the film and all that. And she is like, "Sir, audition." Like, yeah, I was like, "No, you are it." So like, "You are the director, but the producer is in Bombay." I said, "I'll handle the producer." You are my Sakshi, which is the character. And she, if there is justice, she should win another national award for this film. I don't say it because I have directed it or written it. Genuinely, that one scene alone in the trailer where she says, you know, she has lost all hope. She doesn't want to get out of the car because she knows they'll kill her. When we shot that scene, there were about 40 people behind the monitor, and we all had tears in our eyes. She has performed incredibly, and I'm really thankful. She has a long way to go, and she can do both. This is not a glamorous role, and I have seen her glamorous roles also, so she can do both. So I hope, you know, she goes far and becomes a big star, so we can make another film then. Thank you.
Actually, the whole film. Honestly, I think what's the most surprising part is usually when you get a character and you get a script, the director will always give you a backstory, or probably you will make one, you know, to help you to act better throughout the film, to get the right reactions. But in this film, sir told me, forget everything, forget where you come from. We don't want to show any background of where the girl comes from. Nothing. She's just a normal everyday girl who gets picked up from the bus stop, and nothing. She's fully dressed, like sir said. Sweater, she's wearing a sweater, she's wearing a salwar kurta, and she still gets picked up at the bus stop. So it was a normal girl story. So I had to forget my whole, because I'm a trained martial artist. So anytime something like this happens, a natural reaction automatically comes out of me. So I had to forget all of that, and I had to become this girl who knows nothing. And she's just picked up one day, and her whole life changes in those couple of hours. Her whole thing. She's probably going to go home back to her parents, or she's going to go out to meet her friends. I don't think in the script when she's acting, I don't think when I was acting, I thought, I don't think I'm going to make it out of here alive, because those guys are planning to kill me. So that was the thought that was going on in my head throughout. And the role was extremely challenging to perform, because there were times when I was getting emotional naturally. I was naturally crying. And when you do such characters, your breathing plays a very important role. So there were scenes where I had to consistently keep, breathing like that. And that gets very difficult in a closed atmosphere, packed in a car with like 5 people, with cameras everywhere. So eventually it got very difficult. And shooting, after we wrapped the shooting, for me to come out of the mental and emotional state of the character was the most challenging part. I think it has taken me close to 4 to 5 months to fully be okay and come back to the Ritika I am. But the character and some of the lessons that I've learned through this film and through the script are still with me to this day.
Challenging, she has talked about the character. The story is a real time story. Matlab, the film is 100 minutes. The story actually takes place in 100 minutes. But it is shot over 32 days. So continuity, what you see on the screen 1 second later could have been shot 2 days later. But her hair, her clothes, her state of eyes, not only her, all 5 of them had to be same. So, I'll just tell you one instance. Like I did not let her wash her hair because she has a lot of lustrous, nice hair. So it suddenly, if it gets shampooed, फिर उसको makeup से नहीं, you cannot बिगाड़ो it again. So I said, forget it. We had 2 dresses for her. Eventually I said, no, forget the second dress because वो match करना इतना difficult हो जाएगा. So 32 days, I'm sorry, I'm telling them everything. 32 days she wore the same dress, all of them wore the same dress. Meanwhile, all the cast, crew, directors सब नहा धो के shampoo वैम्पू करके रोज fresh आते थे. They were in a, we had a caravan of cars on a highway. We shot it in Haryana. And the picture car, as we call it, where the actors are, it's on a trawler, and it's packed. So the कभी window निकाल लिया है, कभी दरवाजा निकाल लिया, and there were lights outside, there were whole rigging platforms and all that. And we had running lunch. So we did not break for lunch. So a lot of time I used to tell them, यार ये सब light वाइट निकालना पड़ेगा, तुम लोग बाहर आओगे lunch के लिए. Here is a chicken wrap. So really there was abuse on multiple levels, and her character itself was so, imagine 10 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours a day, 2 men are sitting next to you, constantly abusing you, for continuously 30 days. It's very challenging, and it's not easy to just go to the hotel room and switch off, because the kind of, see, this is not the thing, this is not the kind of film जहाँ villains जो होते हैं ना, they are drugs के लिए मार रहे हैं या diamond robbery है. This is so real. Even the men actors, they're professionals, they started feeling bad. They're like, sir, we are not going to do this to her. I'm like, it's in the script, you have to do it. So it was challenging on multiple levels, and I'm glad you will see the performances, So thank you.
I think, like I said, because this happens to everybody. I will maybe speak about my stories one day when I'm ready to share them, but I'll get a little emotional if I talk about it. But when stuff like this happens, it changes you for life. It leaves scars on you, it leaves scars on your soul, on your body. And then when you grow up and you act a certain way, it all stems from that one incident or many incidents that must have happened in a person's past. And I think this happens more often than we know of. Like you said, there are babies, even babies are not spared. It's just gut wrenching. It's extremely heartbreaking to see that happen. And It happens to male children, it happens to female children, it happens to everybody. Now we never know what if a child is going to school. Okay, maybe that girl is going by bus, or she's taking a rickshaw, or she's going alone. You never know who will come and grab the child and do what they want to, right? So that is unfortunately the situation in our country, and I feel like what we need to do, my generation, when I will have my children, or when we all have the next generation, I feel like we should start teaching our kids very early the basic, the most basic thing, which is respect. And like you said, celebrities are also, you know, being to this journey, and even normal people. Sometimes what happens is, now this is not how I think, I'm just telling you how people think. Sometimes people think, oh, she doesn't come from a very big family, middle class girl, or not from a very big family. Let's pick her up and let's do whatever we want. We'll kill her also. Nobody will care for her because she has nobody. Nobody will care. Nobody will talk about it. She doesn't have money. That is not the mentality to have. Everybody deserves respect no matter where they come from. Can be the richest person, can be the most poor person. Everybody deserves equal respect. And that when that feeling of respect is here, people will think 10,000 times before they do something like this, because we are not objects. Women are not objects. We are not properties. You know, even on social media, if you see actresses and all, they just take our pictures and they'll make some horrible memes and I don't know, double meaning things. It's just heartbreaking to see, because even I have a family. I have my parents. I have my friends. I have a brother. And when they see my pictures on social media like this, it breaks their heart also. But that is what needs to change. The fact that everybody deserves respect, whether somebody is a celebrity, whether somebody is a normal college going girl, everybody deserves respect. And I feel like self defense should be taught in school curriculums, like at least once in a month, once in 2 weeks, they should have a self defense seminar conducted. I personally do a lot of self defense seminars. I've been doing it since I was in college with my dad, my brother, and our whole karate academy. So I would be more than happy to help. If anybody needs my help to spread this word and make it a thing, I'm always here to help from my side.
I really never thought of that. I was actually just casting an actress. It doesn't matter background, you know. Uh, also, like I said, when I met her, she had already read the script, and she asked me all the right questions. She asked me, and a lot of time during the shoot also, I'll tell you, she helped me a lot because it's a script written by a man, directed by a man. So a lot of times she said, "Sir, in this situation, a girl will not say this. A girl will not do this." So I changed it. I modified it. But before that, when I was casting it, I wanted somebody who could be really raw, who is not. Uh, matlab the audience should not presume. There are certain, unfortunately, there are certain male actors, female actors, where you see them in the film, they are not going to die. So I didn't want that. I wanted a suspense, and when I met her, I already knew her background, like what kind of family she comes from and all that. I wanted a very regular girl who, before the acting comes, and that's what she mentioned. By day third or fourth, it started happening to her. Before the acting comes, as a woman, as a girl, she started reacting from that place. एक्टिंग तो बाद में आता है, वो जो इंस्टिंक्ट, जो गुस्सा आता है, जो रियली, आई मीन, आई I'll tell you a very close thing. It's nothing like what happens to men or women in terms of sexual abuse. But I was in US when I was mugged at gunpoint, and they took my wallet and my watch and all that thing, and they ran away. And I was actually jogging, and the kind of anger I felt, what is it? It's all replaceable. But imagine आपका उस वक्त पे आपका कोई जब छीन लेता है, इतनी छोटी सी चीज़ है, वॉलेट एंड ऑल दैट, मेरे को इतना गुस्सा आया, बहुत सरप्राइज कि मेरे को इतना क्यों गुस्सा आ रहा है. अगर वो मेरे से मांग लेते तो आई वुड हैव जस्ट गिवन इट टू देम ना. इफ दे वर इन नीड, आई वुड हैव गिवन इट टू देम मोस्ट probably. But I am saying, and imagine if somebody, your I mean, I don't want to use very 80s ka izzat and all that, but you understand what I'm saying. You are like, without their consent, you are just taking away everything and destroying. And I genuinely feel इसका need नहीं है. Yeah, the society has now opened up so much. You can date, you can go out to movies together. You can do. There is a lot of freedom. This is not necessarily. That's why when you watch the film, you'll see why people feel that मेरा हक है ये लड़की. She's lesser than me. She's an object. I should treat her like that. I wanted to focus on that. I think I moved a little further away from your question, but the reason for casting her was that I wanted a girl who can fall back into her natural self and act from there. So